Wildstar is counting down to its free-to-play launch. ArenaNet announces the final beta weekend for Heart of Thorns. Overwatch introduces more characters to its already huge roster, and Echo of Soul looks to be getting a new playable class. What's happening, guys? James Blonde here with MMOHuts.com with a quick weekly recap for MMO news and announcements for the week ending September 28th, 2015. Starting out the news this week is a couple of new reveal videos for characters in Overwatch. The thing is, Roadhog and Junkrat don't exactly look like heroes. They look more like a couple of guys that would work for the Joker, honestly. Roadhog is a tank on the battlefield who uses a scrap-firing shotgun and chain hook that really looks menacing. That's actually meant to grapple his target, then pull them in close so he can deal with them that way. It's also nice that he's able to take a breather, as the skill is called, to restore a chunk of health over a brief period of time. It kind of looks like he needs to take a breather always. His ultimate transforms his scrap gun into an ammo-fed stream of shrapnel that really pushes enemies back. I mean, far. Junkrat, on the other hand, is a defense character who packs a frag grenade launcher along with concussion mines and steel traps. Similar to the Joker, like I mentioned before, his deranged sense of humor persists past his death, so if killed, he tends to drop several live grenades shortly after. Gonna want to kill him with caution. His ultimate is rather unique as well. Here he sends a motorized tire bomb rolling across the battlefield which climbs over walls and obstacles, and then he can remotely detonate it to cause some serious damage to any surrounding enemies. Both new characters actually look really fun to play as in my opinion, but we're still not exactly sure when that's going to happen, sadly. Next up, haven't heard from Zombies, Monsters, Robots in a while. That is until last week. Apparently ZMR is headed back to the Void, releasing a new content update based on last year's Into the Void update, which takes players to space. Back to the Void adds 2 new story mode campaigns, 3 new maps, including Moonbase Alpha and Moonbase Omega, which are obviously space-themed PvE maps, making it zombies, monsters, robots, and aliens, I would guess. Like always, the new update comes with new special weapons, a new crossfire drone, and of course costume packs. Seems like ZMR was updating right and left towards the beginning there, and now it's been 6 or 7 months since the last update, or at least one like this one. Hopefully they pick it back up. Also last week, Nosgoth's most recent human class, the Vanguard, gains a brand new ability. Showcased in this new preview trailer you see here, the ability is called Bulwark, and it deals an AoE damage over time that can be used to protect the entire group if needed. It deals constant damage to vampires within its range, and it looks like it can pretty much stop them in their tracks, if used correctly, which is always the case. Looks like since the competitive leagues have started in Nosgoth, the content focus has shifted to more abilities for the classes. Could be good. Well, it looks like the hunt is on in Dragomon Hunter starting this coming October 15th. Kind of funny that I figured that we'd gain access really soon, like I mentioned in last week's recap. With that, Area Games released a new Day in the Life of a Dragomon Hunter video that you see playing here, which goes over the typical questing procedure, going out to hunt Dragomon, how you can turn any Dragomon you slay into your own personal mount, how you can harvest materials from the Dragomon to make better gear, and what to do up against really strong raid-like Dragomon that you come across, or that occasionally attack your hometown. The new video also reveals that you can actually breed Dragomon in your collection to produce faster or rarer versions, and even assign them to defend from attacking creatures at your home while you're out catching more. Of course, just like nearly every free-to-play MMO preparing to launch nowadays, with the closed beta announcement, Area Games also announced Founders Packs. In this game, there are 5 different Founders Packs at various price ranges, all of which grant you closed beta access on October 15th. Definitely want to keep an eye out at the giveaway section at MMOHuts.com. We're bound to have some closed beta keys to give you guys closer to beta time. And speaking of Area Games, a new teaser trailer showed up last week for Echo of Soul, teasing who knows what. My guess it's a new playable class, one that wields a chain blade, which would be really cool for, this game. But if we look at the Thai or Korean version of this game, this class is the Warlock, who sports a mixture of the Archer and Sorceress skills. Not exactly sure when we'll get to see the new class, but we should have some more details soon. For now, it just says coming soon. Next up, if you haven't heard already, Albion Online announced recently that it was transitioning over from alpha to closed beta this November sometime. Not exactly sure if that means that players will have an easier time getting in to try out the game that doesn't involve their wallets, but just as a much needed reminder, the game will in fact be free to play once it launches in Q1 of 2016. Along with this, Sandbox Interactive released a highly anticipated upgrade to the private islands system in Albion. After listening to the community request to expand upon the idea, the developers decided to improve the player experience by introducing different island levels with additional building and farming plots, as well as a wider variety of decorative options so players can customize the environment. Private islands act as a hideaway place, if you didn't catch that already, where players can build houses and workshops, decorate to their liking, and set up personal farms. With the new update, the number of farming and building plots can be increased, and there are a total of 5 levels of private islands in the works, each providing different customization options for players to make unique. A couple of NCSoft-based announcements showed up recently. First up, Aion is celebrating its 6th anniversary this past week, and through the celebration, players will experience added buffs like increased item drop rates, interaction with the GMs, and plenty of chances to win prizes through social media contests and giveaways. Find out more about this at the site post at MMOHuts.com. During TwitchCon this past weekend, ArenaNet surprised its fans with the launch trailer for Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, the one you see playing here. Beyond just that, ArenaNet pretty much conquered TwitchCon with all kinds of interesting shows and presentations where they collaborated with others. They even had a cooking show tie-in called The Taste of Tyria. During the show, Colin Johansson, the game director, announced the dates for the final Heart of Thorns beta weekend event, beginning this coming Friday, October 2nd, running through Sunday, October 4th. And on that note, this particular beta weekend will be the first to include the 10-player raid Spirit Vale. Apparently they've made it really easy to queue up for, so if you have access, hop into the Heart of Thorns beta this coming weekend. Otherwise, the new expansion launches on October 23rd. Next up, Carbine Studios started their near week-long countdown to Wildstar's free-to-play launch. But this is where it gets a bit odd, considering the reason they made the decision to go free-to-play in the first place. They've actually chosen to rent out Times Square in New York City. Times Square. Yeah, that's gotta be expensive, for the final moments of the countdown. This is set to include the new launch trailer that is sure to rock the big screens of the Big Apple. Starting today, September 28th, the party begins on twitch.tv with a host of content. There's going to be interviews, special guests, giveaways, plenty of gameplay previews, along with a grand prize raffle winner netting a Razer Blade Pro laptop, among other things. Check out the official stream from MMOHuts.com. We've got it going the entire time, and join the countdown to the free-to-play launch. Last week, Obsidian Entertainment and the Alad's team introduced the Tyas Temple in Skyforge, which happens to be the main sanctuary of the Goddess of Love. The new video here gives you a nice tour of the area. The decor of the temple makes it clear that love and beauty go hand in hand. Sorry, I feel the need to say love that way. Unfortunately, this is no longer a peaceful zone. The temple has been seized by a group of aquatic invaders. According to the lore from the official site post, as a peace-loving goddess, Tyas was physically incapable of resorting to violence or even holding a weapon for that matter. She managed to evade capture, but now stands outside her desecrated home, awaiting players to help intervene and save their place of refuge. Cool way to showcase a new area if you ask me. Catch the new trailer at the site post at MMOHuts.com. Finally, for our last bit of news, Dungeon Fighter Online is preparing for Act 6 already, and in doing so, they're preparing to reveal the second awakening of the Priest, which seems to be the most intense awakening yet. Just, going off the teaser trailer here. On October 6th, the Priest will have the subclass options of the Crusader, the Monk, the Exorcist, sounds scary, and the Avenger. Sounds heroic. Keep a lookout for more details and the newest trailers at MMOHuts.com. Anyway, guys, that's about it for all the major MMO news and announcements for this week. Like always, if you're looking for more information regarding the topics featured in the recap, check the links in the description below. Otherwise, hang out at MMOHuts.com for a constant stream of news. Feel free to discuss the news in the comments below or head over to MMOHuts.com/forums. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.